Hi BookTube! My name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I am coming to you with a video on 5 of my favorite cozy mystery series. So this is not a top, clearly it's, these are some of my favorite series. There are other ones, but I'm actually going to discuss some of those in a video coming sometime in the next few weeks ahead of Amish in April. So they are clearly Amish themed mysteries, if you will. But here I am to talk about 5 of my favorite cozy mystery series, and this is going to be in no particular order. I had really planned on getting this video up much sooner in March for March Mystery Madness, but better late than never. So this is definitely a video for those of you just getting into cozy mysteries. There is I feel, a nice wide range of different types of cozies in this list. So yeah, I hope that you guys are going to enjoy this video. So like I said, in no particular order, we are going to start with the Campers and Criminals Cozy Mystery Series by Tonya Kappes. So this book, or this series, has like 20 some odd books in it, but don't feel overwhelmed because these books are super, they're short. They're around 150 to 200 pages a piece. The audiobooks, if you decide to listen to them on audio, which is fantastic. The audiobooks are really delightful. I really like the narrator for them. They come in at around 4 hours. And each book has like this kind of, one letter with the 3 different words. Like the one I just finished was Sunset, Sabbatical, and Scandal. And yeah, so the plot of this cozy mystery series is about our main character named Mae West. Not that Mae West, a different Mae West. Who inherits from her husband, if you will, this RV park in Kentucky, in a town called Normal, Kentucky. It's just outside the Daniel Boone National Park. And she thinks, in the first book, she's like, I'm going to sell it, make a quick buck, and get back to New York, which is where she's been living. Kind of living the high life. Her husband was involved in a Ponzi scheme, and he stole a lot of money from a lot of people. So she's kind of left with nothing, but she's like, I'm going to sell this park, make some money, go back to New York. Park isn't worth much because it's kind of really desolate. And then in that first book, her husband is found dead in the lake by the park. And the story kind of goes from there. So as you read through the series, you meet all the different characters in this town of Normal, the Laundry Ladies, which are a group of, it's a book club that Mae belongs to. You meet Mae's, adopted mother, other characters in town who run the local stores. There's the people who work at the park themselves. She, of course, has a relationship with one of the policemen in town named Hank. And yeah, it's just a really delightful and fun series. It doesn't take itself too seriously, which is what I really like about it. And again, they are short books. So if you're looking for something real quick to read, definitely pick up one of these. And they are all, to my understanding, available on Kindle Unlimited. So definitely check that one out. The next one is a series I've been reading for a while, and I haven't read one of these in a while. And as soon as I thought about it, I'm like, I need to rectify that. So I'm hoping to get to one of these sometime in the next few weeks. And that is The Magical Bakeshop. I think that's what it's called, The Magical Bakeshop, by Bailey Cates. And I think the first book is called Brownies and Broomsticks. Oh, guys, I should have written it down. I'm sorry. I will pop a cover of the first book up here for you guys. So this is about our main character, and I believe her name is Katie Lightfoot, if I'm remembering. Again, it's been a few years since I've read one of these books, but I really do love this series. I think I've read like 6 books in this series now, and I think there's like 8 or 9 out at this time. And she moves from some town in the north down to Savannah, Georgia, to help her aunt and uncle run this bakery, the Honeybee Bakery, or something like that. And she's a witch. She's a light witch. And so there is a magical element that weaves its way throughout this series, but it's not overtly magical. It's not wiggle your nose magic. It's more like hedge witch or kitchen witch magic, where they kind of bake stuff into, or they put stuff into the baking. Like if someone wants to inspire love, they'll make cookies and put like certain herbs or something like that in the cookies to inspire love or what have you. You know what I mean? And then, of course, in every book in the series, there is a dead body that, turns up. But Savannah is such a great town, especially for this magical element that weaves its way through the series. There is a relationship with a character in this book. I'm not going to give it away because there is a bit, not a love triangle per se, well, maybe a little love triangle earlier on in the series, but in the point that I'm at now, she has now picked one of the guys. So yeah, I am really enjoying this one. Super cute. Again, great on audio for those of you who are audio readers. And yeah, I like this one a lot. The next one, this is, oh my gosh. Okay, I know I said that this was in no particular order, but I have to be honest and say this is probably one of my top 2 cozy mystery series. And that is the Noodle Shop series by Vivien Chien. Unfortunately, only the first 3 books are available on audio because the audio narrator is fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I was reading the 4th book, which isn't available on audio. And because I was so used to the narration of the first 3 books, I could hear the mother's voice in my head. So this is about our main character named Lana, who has moved, kind of come back to the roost, if you will. She was let go. In the first book, she was let go from a job. Her boyfriend broke up with her. So tail between her legs, comes back to this noodle shop that her parents have owned like since she was like a baby. And it is in this place called Asia Village, which is a mall outside Chicago, which is all Asian like proprietors. So even though it takes place in a big city, sort of, no, it's not Chicago, it's Cleveland, Ohio. Even though it kind of takes place in like this big city of Cleveland, you still get this very small town atmosphere because of this whole, all the action really happens within this Asia Village. And there's some great proprietors, other shops. There's the beauty parlor. There is this local karaoke bar. There is the booksellers. There is, you know what I mean? And Lana's parents own the Noodle Shop, very successful. So at the point of the series that I'm at now, she has kind of taken over running the Noodle Shop. And of course, stumbles across dead bodies in her, as she goes about her day-to-day life. This is one where she is dating the police detective, whose name is Trudeau. Adam Trudeau, I think is his last name. And I can't hear his name without thinking Canada's Prime Minister. because. So yeah, I really, really love this series. I love the mom. The mother is a hoot. The sister, so she has an older sister named Anna May. And for those of you who read The Babysitter's Club when you were growing up like I did, if you love the relationship or really like the relationship between Claudia and Janine, that's how I feel about Lana and Anna May. Because Lana's kind of like the free spirit. She has like this blue streak in her hair. And, she's doesn't want to really conform. Like her mother's like, you should settle down and get married and blah, blah, blah. And Anna May is going to school to become a lawyer. She's very straight-laced. You know what I mean? But as reading it, all I can think in my head is that this is Claudia and Janine all grown up. And I love it. Absolutely love the series. Please give it a read. The next one I want to mention is a series that is now finished. I have read all of these and absolutely love them. And this is the Seaside Cafe mystery series by Bree Baker, aka, which is the pen name for Julianne Lindsay. I love Julianne Lindsay's books, and this series is hands down amazing. I love it. So this is about our main character named Everly Swan, and she has moved back to the Outer Banks. She has 2 eclectic aunts. They remind me very much of the aunts from the movie Hocus Pocus, not the book. Or no, Practical Magic, not Hocus Pocus. Completely different movie. Of the aunts from Practical Magic, from the movie, not from the book. For those of you who have read the book and seen the movie, you know there's a big difference. Much more the movie version of the aunts. And she runs this local tea shop in this old house. It's like an iced tea shop, and she does snacks and such. She is in love with the local, is he the sheriff or the deputy, named Grady, and Grady has a young son. And yeah, this is a great small town feel to it. I absolutely love it. She also befriends a seagull named Lou. And of course, as per usual, stumbles across some dead bodies, because that seems to be the theme here. So I really, really love this series so much. I thought it was great. I was so sad to see it end. I think it ended up being 7 books. But yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. Julianne Lindsay, aka Bree Baker, is a fabulous, fabulous writer. If you have not read any of her cozies, you need to. But this, hands down, I know she's written a lot of them under several pseudonyms. This still is my absolute favorite, mainly because I love the town. The town's called Charm, and that's just delightfully charming, and I love it. So yes, please read that one. And then last but not least, I was holding these books up in the thumbnail. This is, I don't want to say it's controversial, but I don't know how many cozy mystery readers would really consider these to be cozy. but I do, because they were my first foray into cozy mysteries. And that is the Cat Who series by Lilian Jackson Braun. So this is an older series, a much older series. So the first books in the series were published back in the 1960s. So you do need to take them with a grain of salt for the first so many books, because I think she wrote 4 or 6 books, and then she took like a 20-year hiatus from writing the books, and then came back to them in like the 80s or 90s or something like that. So the original books, there is some stuff in there that wouldn't necessarily be kosher in today's, if they were written today, they may have been written a little bit differently. Let's put it that way. But I'm not going to blame the author for that. Like, I'm not going to say, oh, well, I'm not going to read them because of, she was writing for the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, she is long gone now. She passed away quite some time ago, I'm sure. And, so she's not here to defend herself. So I'm not going to slam her for anything that was written. And it's not horribly bad. I mean, yes, it is. It's the way some women are depicted in this book, or in these books. And I mean, this was written by a woman. You know what I mean? So it's not like it was a guy being sexist or something. It was written by a woman to the way that women in the workforce at the time were treated and talked about and what have you, along with some racial stuff as well. So that did change quite a bit as the series went on. Like when she came back and started writing them again years later, that a lot of that was gone. But I'm talking for the earlier books. So the plot of these books is about this man named Quillerin, who is a police beat reporter in Chicago, and he ends up adopting, in the first book, a Siamese cat named Coco. And Coco is extra special because he has extra whiskers and he can solve mysteries. And the first so many books in the series are a bit gritty, but I still do consider them to be cozy, mainly because it's an amateur sleuth. Quill is an amateur sleuth, and clearly a cat is an amateur sleuth. Although there is jokes throughout the series about Coco joining the police force because he solves all the mysteries, essentially. And then later on in the series, he adopts another Siamese named Yum Yum. And yeah, they're adorable. So this is a later book in the series, The Cat Who Came to Breakfast. So all of them have this title, The Cat Who. And I believe the first book, I'll pop the cover up here, is The Cat Who Saw Red. I think is the first book. If that's not right, I'll have the first cover up here. I am doing a reread through this series, and I am going to be jumping ahead a little bit because I took out of the library The Cat Who Wasn't There, which is a later book in the series. And this one, Quill travels to Scotland, and Coco's not even there, and there's a mystery, and Coco solves the mystery from across the pond, if you will. So yeah, these are really, really cute books. Now, all that being said about the first so many books in the series, the last 4 or 5 books in the series can be completely skipped, to be honest. And I plan on not reading them either as I'm doing the reread through the series, because at that point in time, Lilian Jackson Braun had unfortunately passed away. And I remember reading those and just being so disappointed. I wish that they had just kiboshed the series and just said, you know what, unfortunately she passed away. We're not going to continue on with the series because they got a ghostwriter in. And they were horrible, guys, horrible. But one of my favorites, and I have it somewhere on my shelf and I couldn't lay hands on it, just as I was about to sit down and do this video, is a book called The Cat Who Had 14 Tails, which is a short story collection of these stories. So these are a lot of fun. Like, these are cozies, but like I said, they can almost be a bit more gritty because of Quill's background as being this hardcore homicide kind of police beat reporter, like he's seen a lot. And, as the series goes on, he leaves his job for reasons. He comes into a bit of money and he moves to this small town in Moose County, which, as it's described in the book, for anyone else who has read the series knows, it's 400 miles north of everywhere. So I think it's just south of the Canadian border, somewhere in maybe Minnesota? I don't know. But anyway, delightful, delightful series, guys. Yeah, please, give it a try. Like I said, take the earlier books with a grain of salt. The Cat Who Came to Breakfast is one of my favorites. It takes place on a small island, Pear Island, perfect for fishing, relaxing, and boating, and committing murder. Jim Quillerin, Coco, and Yum Yum get more than they bargained for when they begin to investigate several accidents. So that's the other thing, is not every single book has a murder, but definitely something is afoot in all of them. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that is all that I have for today's video. I do hope that you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments below, are any of these some favorite series of yours? And if not, what are some of your favorite cozies? And if I haven't read them yet, I'll be sure to try and check them out. And until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.